Whoever is ready. Let's read the question and then begin the solution. So who is reading the question for me?
Yeah, please, I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you gave this as an assignment.
Okay. But I'm not sure you have submitted it, or have you?
There we have.
Really?
Yes, please.
If you have just a handful of you. Okay. Okay, so just some 2 people. The rest of you, nothing. Okay. Yes. I think. Yeah, but only a few of you submitted. All the same, some of you were struggling. Yeah, so let's solve it together and do another, and maybe I'll give you more illustrations to solve. All right. Because based on the information I have here, let me be specific so that we know what. Okay, so I have for Portia, I have for Josephine, I have for Austin, and okay, I also have for Eugenia and Prof. Kujo, and yeah, so only 4 people. Wow. Anyway, I'll call him Augustine. So you have not submitted, right? Of Augustine. Anyway, let's solve it together because I think I made it general that those who are willing to try and share, so no problem. So who is going to read the question for me? So we start. Josephine, please read since you kick-started the conversation.
Okay, say. Write up the following transactions in the ledger account of P. Jones 2022. March 1st, started in business with cash 18,500 euros. Please, should I continue?
Oh, yes. In fact, read the full question so that.
March 2nd, bought goods on credit from Walker, 1,400 euros. 3rd, paid rent by cash, 1,200 euros. 4th, paid 6,000 euros of the cash of the business into a bank account. 5th, sold goods on credit to Dugan, 190 euros. But 7th, bought stationery, 20 pounds, euros, paying by check. 11th, cash sales, 80 euros. 14th, goods returned by us to Walker, 200 euros. 17th, sold goods on credit to Jack, 200 euros. 20th, paid building repairs by cash, 70 euros. 22nd, Dugan returned goods to us, 20 euros. 27th, paid Walker by check, 1,200 euros. 28th, cash purchases, 450 euros. 29th, purchases a van and paid by check, 3,850 euros. 30th, motor expenses paid in cash, 60 euros. 31st, bought fixtures, 800 euros on credit from B. Coca.
Okay, great. So let's begin. So the first thing you have to do is to write the name of the business. Okay, and professors, that is very, very important when you are solving your accounting illustrations. So in the books of P. Jones, you can write it this way, or you simply write P. Jones, right? Okay, so we are going to record a transaction one after the other. The first transaction here is started business with cash of 18,500. And I believe now all of us are very familiar with this, the owner making an investment. So what are the two accounts, quickly, from any of my professors? What are the two accounts we need to open? Austin, I call it Austin. Okay, let me call Austin before I come to Portia. Austin.
The question is 10.
Yes, we're looking for the two accounts to record started business with cash. Yeah.
Capital account and cash account.
Great. So we open the cash account and the capital account. Thank you very much. So, Prof. Portia, which one do we debit and which one do we credit?
So say we credit the capital account and debit the cash account.
Exactly. Perfect. Perfect. So we'll credit capital and debit cash. Now, one of the challenges you might encounter is knowing the number of space or lines you are supposed to leave for each of the accounts that you open. To be comfortable with that, you go through the illustration and try to pick out the number of times a particular account may be occurring. So here you see started business with cash, that's capital and cash. You go through, you will see some cash. So cash will be more, will be occurring more, right? So if you open the cash account, then you should leave enough space to be able to accommodate all the other transactions affecting cash. For capital, I think this will only be the transaction that affects capital, right? So for that one too, we can leave the expected space or required spaces to accommodate the entries. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll debit cash. So we put the date, 1st March 2022. The narration will be capital. 18,500. It's always important you put the currency up there. So let me copy the currency. Okay, so we have debited cash. The corresponding entry will be in the capital account credit. So let's do that. 1st March 2022, cash 18,500, and that is the first transaction, right? Okay. The second one, bought goods on credit from Walker, 1,400. Bought goods on credit from Walker. Prof. Eugenia, bought goods on credit from Walker. What two accounts do we have to prepare? Prof. Eugenia, we are waiting for you.
Sir, please, the question again.
Okay, so we want to know the account to open for the second transaction. That's the 2nd March transaction. Bought goods on credit from Walker, 1,400 euros. Prof, did you get the question or still you don't get the question?
Did I get the question?
Okay. So what two accounts are we to open for that transaction?
Sir, please, workers account.
Okay, so workers account, and what will be the second one?
Purchase account.
Thank you very much. God bless you for that awesome response. So we'll open purchases account and workers account. So who are we going to debit and who are we going to credit? So let me open workers account here. Then let me put purchases here. Okay, so who is going to give me the double entry? Who do we credit and who do we debit? Okay, Prof. I see Prof. Portia and who? Okay, Portia, give me the double entry. We debit who?
We'll debit purchases and credit worker.
Exactly. So we debit purchases and credit worker. So here worker becomes a creditor, right? Worker becomes a creditor. Okay, so let's put the entries there. So in workers account, we are going to credit on the 2nd of March 2022 purchases 1,400, and in purchases account we debit 2nd March 2022 worker 1,400. Okay, awesome. Transaction number 3. Paid rent by cash. Paid rent by cash. Paid rent by cash. What two accounts are we supposed to open? Paid rent by cash. Okay. Prof. Zoe, can you give us the two accounts for paid rent by cash? Paid rent by cash. So what two accounts are we to open, Prof. Zoe?
A cash account and
Great. Cash account and what? Okay, the second account, cash account is correct. We pay the rent by cash. What is the second account? Okay, Portia, give us the second account. I think Zoe's.
Say, please, rent account.
Okay, so the second account will be rent account, which is an expense, right? So this is more or less like payment of an expense. Okay, so who do we debit? Who do we credit? Augustine Akoli. Give me the debit and credits for this one. We paid rent by cash. So which account would we credit and which one would we debit? Already we know the two accounts, rent and cash. Okay, I think I have a hand here I'm interested in. Prof. Abubakar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So please, we debit rent
Great.
and then we credit cash.
Awesome. Nice. Okay, so we'll debit rent and we'll credit cash. So anytime you pay expense, you debit the expense account, you credit cash. But already we have the cash account opened. So you don't need to open the cash account again, right? We have the cash account already open. So the next account we need is the rent account. So that's what we have to open. So we open the rent account, we debit it, and the corresponding credit goes to the cash account. The date, sorry, is 3rd March 2022. Cash 1,200. Then we go on to the cash account, which is already opened. We credit it. 3rd March 2022. Rent 1,200. As simple as that. Okay. Transaction number 4. Please, any question so far? Any question? Okay. Transaction number 4, or on the 4th of March, paid 6,000 euros of the cash of the business into a bank account. Paid cash of the business into a bank account. So what is happening here? The business took cash and deposited it into the bank account. Okay, I saw some hand. Augustine Akoli, can you give us your version, your understanding of this? This transaction is a little bit different from the 11 transactions we saw, right? But I'm sure you can.
So you have the account will be bank accounts and cash accounts.
Thank you. Perfect. So your cash account and your bank account. So who do we debit? Who do we credit?
Well, you will credit you debit the bank account and debit the cash account.
Check again. Or you say we will debit the bank and also debit the cash. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
But the double entry says when you do a debit, you should do a corresponding credit. So you are doing 2 debits.
So then you credit the cash account rather.
Okay, so I think Austin, you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask a question, but it's okay.
Okay. So here the 2 accounts perfectly are cash and bank, right? We'll debit the bank and credit the cash account. Now, I think during the discussion, I gave you some summaries that when it comes to cash and bank, we debit when we receive money, right? And we credit when we are making payment. So we debit receipts and we credit payment when it comes to cash account and bank account. So if you analyze this transaction, it's like bank was receiving from cash, right? Or cash was paying to bank. So if cash is paying, then we'll credit cash, and bank receiving will debit a bank. So if you check any transaction that involves cash payment, will credit cash, or any transaction that involves check payment will credit bank. And if it's the opposite, that's where you are receiving the cash or you are receiving the check or money into your bank account, you debit these 2 accounts. So note that as well. So we already have the cash account, but I'm not sure of the bank. So we need to open the bank account. So we open the bank account. We are going to debit bank because bank is receiving. Right. So the date is 4th March 2022. The narration will be cash. Amount involved is 6,000. Then in the cash account, we credit that 6,000. Okay. So 4th March 2022, that's bank 6,000. Okay. Great. Let's look at the 5th transaction, then maybe we'll wrap up and come back in the second session to continue. Sold goods on credit to Duncan. Sold goods on credit to Duncan. Sold goods on credit to Duncan. I think Prof. Oswell is now joining us. Prof. Oswell, would you share your idea on this one? Sold goods on credit to Duncan. What are the two accounts we have to prepare? I think I'll give Prof. Oswell time to relax. Augustine, go ahead.
Repeat this question. I don't understand it. Say, it's something on this question. I don't get it.
Okay, no problem. We'll sort it out. Okay. Okay, Austin, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Okay, sir, we'll open sales account and Duncan account.
Okay, we open sales account and Duncan account. Okay, Prof. Oswell. Now that we have the two accounts, which is sales and Duncan, which one would we debit and which one would we credit?
Yes, we will debit Duncan's account, then credit the sales account.
Perfectly. In fact, this morning I'm really happy with how you are doing justice to the principle. I'm very happy. Okay, so we are going to debit Duncan and we'll credit sales. Now, Prof. Augustine Akoli, you remember we did sale of goods transaction, right? And we say anytime you sell goods, there is a decrease in stock. And in respect of that, you open sales account. Here we sold the goods on credit to Duncan, who now becomes a debtor. So in that case, again, you would open the debtor's account. So anytime you sell goods on credit, there's a sales account and then there's the debtor's account. Here the debtor is Duncan, so we would open Duncan's account as the debtor, right? If it had been sold goods for cash, then again it would have been sales and then cash. If it is for check, it would have been sales and what? Bank. Okay, so please, I hope you're okay now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So we open the sales account and Duncan's account. Prof. Josephine, go ahead with your question.
Sir, please, I didn't understand the 4th March on.
Okay, the 4th March, which was paid. Okay, so the 4th March was about, it was between, do you understand it was between cash account and bank account?
Yes, but I got confused.
Why we debited the bank and credited the cash?
No, why we opened cash and bank accounts? Because when I was solving it, I was contemplating whether the bank account is the business's own bank account or someone's bank account.
Oh, okay. So if it was to be any other account, as in a personal account of the owner, it would have been stated, right? Now, if you check from the 1st to the 4th, there was no bank account, right? So if it reads that cash was paid into a bank account, it means cash was used to actually open a bank account for the business. Okay, so in this case, if you read the transaction, it says 6,000 of the cash of the business was paid into a bank account, right? So if it had been any bank account that is not that of the business, the transaction would have noted or would have alerted us on that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so professors, we are on the 5th transaction. We have to open the sales account and Duncan's account. So we don't have sales account, so we need to open sales account and we don't have Duncan's account, so we need to open Duncan's account as well. So let me do that. Then we'll come back in the second session to continue. So we credit sales, then we'll debit Duncan. The date is 5th March 2022. Duncan 190. Then we open Duncan's account. Debit Duncan. It's March 2022. Operation will be sales 190. Great. Okay, the next transaction is bought stationery, paying by check. So we'll look at that in the next session. Please, let's all sign on to the next session to